Damn, I wasted a lot of time not watching this.
Aren't you supposed to be working on that Helluva Boss episode? I need car insurance money, man. Get to work on the goddamn script, boy.
That was my good eye.
You'll never see it come back. You say that my mind is too fast for right.
Okay, no joke. I don't like this episode. I think it's bad. Yeah, I don't care what the fandom thinks at this point. This episode was bad to me, and I'm going to point out why. Aside from the usual clunky animation, which at this point I don't hold against the show because, you know, it's an indie thing. I'm not expecting, you know, fluid animation like from JoJo. No, the biggest problem here is the writing. I will not budge on this one. Considering the previous episodes that had a lot of good, deep character writing, even when I had my issues with them, I could still overlook the flaws since they weren't front and center. So let's just dive in, shall we? There are two major issues when it comes to this episode's writing: logic and established characterization. Well, there are a few other issues I have, but those are more personal gripes.
Could've just used the door, dude. Doesn't need to be this whole thing.
I am eccentric and must therefore do eccentric shit!
God, I hate this character type. I'm with Luna here. This is just plain stupid.
Shut up, dear furry!
Alright, so for the three of you who are watching this and don't have a clue as to what's going on, here's a quick plot summary. The imps get hired by...
Goopty-goopty.
Oh my god, someone kill me, please.
Why won't you let me die?
Loopty-goopty. Gives his backstory on how he died. He and his partner, Lyle Lipton, apparently were working on a device that can reverse the aging process. But for some reason they decided to put an old setting on it. And I'm sitting here wondering... why? Your purpose is to make trillionaires younger. Why in the world would you put something like that on your machine? It's for the sake of the plot!
I'm interjecting only because y'all are both acting stupid. I mean, come on, what's going to happen if you end up accidentally going back to kindergarten and not being able to run your company when you're a trillionaire and you don't have the old button to go back? I mean, come on, think about it. Unless being a baby is their goal, I mean, somebody's dream.
Anyway, the two idiots go in and begin aging themselves up. Even though with how the scene is set up with them being locked in the machine, even if it was set to youth, arguably they'd be in a worse situation.
We'll all keep getting younger and younger until we suffer a fate worse than death. Pre-life!
But whatever. Loopty dies while Lyle didn't, and wants to hire Blitz
And I'm Blitz, the O is silent.
to kill Lyle. Aside from that stupidity, which, hey, I'm fine with, you need to have something to get the plot going. But then we get to the first problem.
That machine really did a number on me.
So, wait. Lyle didn't use the machine on himself to de-age? Sure, one can argue that maybe another accident would have happened, but at this point, Lyle is wanting to kill himself anyway. Why not take the risk to get young again? It's practically a win-win for him. If it works, he's young again. It doesn't? Congrats, you got yourself a croaked geezer. Now, my issue with this is... I don't normally mind if there's a plot hole or two, especially when it's essentially supposed to be a comedy-based show. Even more so when we're dealing with supernatural forces such as demons, angels, and however the hell Dream became popular. The problem with this, however, is that it makes no sense why Lyle wouldn't immediately go back to his company, flip the switch to young, and then get back to what he was earlier that day. Any sensible person would do that, especially if they're touted as a genius of sorts. I'm sure I'll get people in the comments telling me like, oh, Lyle's old now and can't think, or someone would kill him, because there's always... that guy. Unfortunately, I don't see that as an excuse. For the rest of the episode, Lyle seems rather cognizant, and for someone who would kill him, at this point in the episode, he wants to off himself. So that makes no bloody sense. It's for the sake of the plot! Anyway, just as Lyle's about to hang himself with his infusion tubing, which, by the way, isn't something that's really possible to do, they appear.
Oh Lord, I'm being haunted by ugly orphan children.
So meet Keeney, Colin, and... Cletus?
Some folk will never eat a skunk, but then again, some folk will, like Cletus, the slack-jawed yokel.
Anyway, these three cherubs are here to prevent Lyle from killing himself. And here we come to the second biggest issue I have with this episode. For some reason, the imps think the best course of action is to let Lyle kill himself. It's for the sake of the... listen here, I'm not going to accept that as a reason, especially since we've established characterization that the imps aren't above killing someone from afar. What exactly is stopping the imps from just capping this old man right between his beady eyes? And for that matter, why are the imps allowing the cherubs to attempt to convince Lal not to die? Did I miss something? There's not an explicit reason given in the episode. Are there rules that demons can't interfere when cherubs do their job? Well, that can't be the case when we get to the opera scene.
We're just trying to do our job.
Well, so are we.
Well, someone wants that fucker dead, okay? And he paid in advance, and I spent it all on this. So he's gotta go!
Then why the hell didn't you just shoot him?
Kamen, you are a goddamn himbo. Okay, they're imps. They don't need a reason to go around and try to fuck with somebody for the sake of their own entertainment, because
That's funny!
Well, the old man wanted to live again, and we didn't kill him, so we failed.
Who wants to talk about murders?
But wouldn't that mean if he killed himself, you wouldn't have done your job? I'm sorry, I really am. I want to like this episode, but this has got to be the weakest episode of Helluva Boss, and it's because it's so damn contrived and makes no sense. And it sucks because there's some good things about this episode. I like the designs of the cherubs. Except Cletus. There's this scene.
And I spent it all on this.
But the major issues come from the writing. And again, this writing has holes in it and goes against pre-established characteristics. Blitz was shown to be able to shoot him first and not ask questions later, so why in the world are the imps going along with the whole charade? Is the rub in the face of the cherubs? Yes. I can see that being a reason, but we're not given that at all. And I'm sure some people are going to point to the whole, parking lot thing, but we gotta remember that Verostica, can't believe I actually said that name correctly the first time going through this,
what do you want, a goddamn cookie? I'm kidding, here's a cookie, I love you.
was also an ex of Blitz, and was basically prodding and poking him throughout this entire time. There was more of a reason for why there would be a competition there. I mean, if it was for a competition, then wouldn't killing Lyle accomplish the same thing since he stopped them from doing their job and possibly get them covered in blood at the same time? I don't know, that's just my take. I'm sure I'll get a ton of people who will repeat the same point that I might have missed something on Instagram. How charming.
Alright, I know I'm the editor, and no one actually cares about my opinion, but I'm gonna give it anyway, because I think Kamen was a little too harsh with this episode. Also, I'm the girlfriend. I did all the work on this video, and if you don't like it, well, too bad. Sorry, not sorry.
You gotta deal with it!
And I'm not blind. I know this isn't the best episode in the series, but I thought it was funny as hell. There were definitely some great lines that had me laughing harder than I should have during my first viewing.
I hate filthy, stinking orphan children. Why? Look at those sweet, disease-ridden vermin.
We're here to remind you about possibly life's greatest joy of all.
Money. I could just buy all the things. I no longer crave death.
Helluva Boss just has this familiar sense of humor that I've grown up with in my own family, especially with the imps messing with the cherubs just because they can. Oh man. They know exactly what they're doing, and it's fucking hilarious. Maybe it's because Maxwell Adams and Richard Stephen Horvitz are part of the crew working on this series, but man, this show radiates absurd Billy and Mandy humor, and I am all for it. It just makes me smile and laugh, alright? Also, see these two? Yeah, fuck Kamen's opinion, these two are great. I enjoyed their presence, and I enjoyed this goofy-ass, absurd-as-hell episode, even though it made no goddamn sense whatsoever. Though, I think the best way to go into this episode is to not think about it too hard, or else you're just gonna end up like Kamen. Alright, that's the end. Bye.
You turned her against me!
Sorry. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. No.
Attention and file. March for miles to share our love with the stars above. We mean it truly, cause it's our duty to salute your beauty. Wow. Nobody gets another out of town. There's no denial, you leave us stifled with your radiant smile. Yeah. Move to the beat, you better put on your goggles, cause we're gonna bring the heat. Cruise with me, there's lots to see.